bit. Yo, someone brought this up. She caused everything because they sent her outside to again later.
But she had the idea
make
to
the
go.
bridge between the two cultures, right? So it's her fault, basically.
I mean,
so she dies
in a
first.
way, yeah.
She gets bit
in
first.
a weird way,
She ruins everything.
Was it? What if they say the black boy fuck with the white girl and look what happens?
Yeah, exactly. See, I wasn't. See, we're making connections.
Yeah. No, I kind of think that's kind of where they were at with that one too.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't know. I feel like get a no name. You know, like someone.
I mean, but I don't think it would have stood out. I think if you got a different
I don't think
actress,
it would have gotten more seats.
I think Haley Steinfeld was done for a reason. Like there's a level of marketing. Again, accuracy to the character.
Nothing to do with acting though.
Well, no. Accuracy to the character. She's now irrelevant. Like she's an up and coming actress that people are liking. She's actively like attractive where people are like, I want to come see her because she's a beautiful woman. Like there's a lot of factors to it, but like her star power is rising in that way that like, who would have fit better? Let me ask you that.
I don't
like who would have been a better way to bring in seats? Because if you just pick like if you're thinking about
went with a no name.
Well, like as a film, like again, I get that, but like as a filmmaker, you want to build as like you want to. Haley Steinfeld isn't well known enough. I feel like now she's a household name after this, but I feel like she wasn't well known enough. She was technically a no name.
No, she was pretty well known.
Well, I didn't. Besides the Hawkeye series, I didn't really know who she was.
Are you serious?
What other shit was she in?
She was in like this huge teen movie. It's like I feel like it's iconic.
What was the name of the movie?
Edge of 17. You need to watch that.
I didn't see that one, but like
yeah,
I'm
it
sure
was like a huge teen indie flick.
When did that come out?
Maybe 2017, 2018.
That was like almost how many years ago?
Yeah, but it was still like a huge. It was like a star.
But what did she? Besides that and that, like that,
she did.
In my short attention span as a regular
Transformers movie, she was in one of those. Starred in it.
Which one?
It was the one after Mark Wahlberg.
Was that also around that time, 2017, 2018?
It might have been. I think it was a couple years after Edge of 17. Okay. She did the Spider-Man series, both.
Which Spider-Man? Oh yeah, she did the Gwen Stacy. She was doing it. I do remember the voice actor. No, I do remember the voiceover. I do remember the voice. I do remember that portion. Like I get but then like again. So like I get that. Like so then she wasn't.
I just feel like she didn't really.
Correct. I apologize. She was not a no name for certain. I'm wrong on that.
She didn't really carve this role out for me. Like I was kind of like let down and disappointed. Like they could have.
I think she did a fantastic job, but I also like that's my opinion on it.
I thought she did a good job.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like that's fair. Like someone else could have. I'm not saying no one else would have come in and killed it.
Yeah, like what did she do that somebody else couldn't do better? Like, is there anybody that you would be like, oh, she's?
I mean,
like,
I don't really know like too many white women that can like carry like black twang. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really looked for that.
Twang, I don't think her twang was. I think she purposely played.
Well, no, it was for the role, but I'm saying like I don't really know who would have fit that role. I've never really seen like that. That's more unique. Like. You've definitely seen like I don't know if I've seen a role that would fit that. Like, that would be like a particular actress that would go for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who would fit that.
Are you saying her moral decision as an actress?
No, I just don't know who would fit that. Like, I've never been like, you know what, that white girl would, she might be half black. Like, I've never, like, she would fit in
again,
the southern,
I don't think
she would fit in that setting.
Half black had anything to do with her being.
It definitely did, though. Like, the setting and the time, not saying her being at, like...
She doesn't look half black.
People say that she looks like she has features on it, but, like, again, that's opinion. That's a lot of opinion.
Alicia Keys looks half black.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, that's not white passing. White passing is you look like a white person.
I don't think she was played as someone that's passing.
But she was. Yes, she was. She was literally married to a white man at that time frame. You could not be married. She had to be white passing. Literally, in the movie they specifically said if they catch you hanging around, they're gonna figure out that you are half black.
I think passing to me is someone that looks.
They literally narratively said that.
I think. No, but they never said the words though. They said that
they didn't say passing. They literally said that if you are found out to be here, they're going to find out that you are half black.
Okay, but
so what does that make you?
Passing
means you look white. If I look at you and I can't tell you that you're mixed, and
you look mixed, but you can almost get away with looking white.
Passing means you look white. Like passing means like
you. No,
like if you're white passing, right, and I looked at you, I'm not saying you don't have Spanish features, but if I looked at you and I did you a bare glance, say you were like a light skinned Spanish dude, and you were white passing, it would just mean that like if people didn't know you and you didn't tell someone your full name, they would assume you're white. That's white passing.
Right, but
the fact that you said any white girl could play Haley Steinfeld.
They could have, because
she was white passing.
They could have just lied to us and said, "Oh, I've got some black in me," and then the movie would have worked.
That's white passing.
But no,
but that's what I'm saying.
No,
and in the movie, like
I think we're getting off.
Okay, yeah, maybe I lost you. Maybe I got a little.
Basically,
yeah, I apologize. Maybe I went a little too much on that.
Nah, no one needs to apologize. I just like. I don't think that. I think they could have gotten any white girl, white actress, and just could have told us as the audience that she was half or a little bit of black, and the movie would have still worked.
I'm sure they would, but I don't think it would have helped them money-wise to get as many people as they did in the store. Like, you know how crazy having Haley Steinfeld was for the Gooners? Like, you know how many young men were just like, I'm going to go in just because of Haley Steinfeld?
No, I agree with all that. I guess just acting-wise, like, I don't think that was one of the things that
she didn't do a bad job. Like it wasn't like it wasn't like I was like, oh, right, there was a scene. There wasn't a scene that I was like, you know, she shouldn't have been here.
Right, but I'm a huge fan of her, and I've seen her do better work acting, and I felt like her role, even like at the end, she didn't even say anything, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like a top actress like her. I mean,
I would blame that more on at that point on the writing in that moment.
Okay, let's do that. We're talking about the film as a whole. I'm not saying it's her fault.
No, you're good.
I'm saying that.
But like it kind of feels like it. You're like anybody else could have played that role. She didn't do a significant enough job. That's what it feels like you're saying.
What I'm saying is that she was underutilized. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I can understand that.
She's a great actress.
You feel like they could have given her more.
Yeah, either given that character.
See, I'm just taking offense.
Yeah, no,
I'm just choosing.
Trust me, I like her too. I'm crushing on her too. I didn't mean to offend you.
No. I wasn't like no. Look. I was just saying like I just didn't know what the
favorite actions.
I was like, what was the complaint? Like, was she bad? Like, was that the issue?
I never said that.
Okay, that was. I thought there was an issue. That's
no. I'm saying
I realized
I
took that.
Run the tape back. You'll see.
Yeah, I realized I probably took that the wrong way. Yeah, continue.
She was just underutilized, and I feel like they should have either given such a good actress like her more of a role, something more.
They could have given her more lines or
more
scenes.
significance, or just given that role to a no-name actress that could have jumped off, and someone that would have been better fit to not say any fucking lines at the end of the movie for. How long were they on screen? For like at least 7-8 minutes?
Yeah, but
she's just sitting there eating a lollipop?
Again, like I don't say that you could have given someone a better opportunity, but again, in a smaller budget film, when your goal is to basically make yours like if you're Ryan Coogler in this situation, right? You already listed Michael B. Jordan for the mainstay. You know you're gonna fill in seats. There are very few artists or like actors out there that can actually be like, you know what, people know my name enough to fill in seats. And I was wrong. Apparently, Haley Steinfeld, you know, again, I forgot that she'd done the Spider-Verse stuff, and I forgot that. So like, she was already a household name. So I think it was a very strategic play. I think if they had done a no name, it would have hurt the movie, and they wouldn't have made as much box office wise, and therefore there would be less opportunity for this to be done again. So where I agree with you. Was it the right thing to choose here? Probably the best thing that they could do.
I think
strategically.
To get people in seats.
Yeah, strategically. Yeah, I think that was the right move.
But yeah,
I get what you're saying. Like if this was like if this was like another time where like the studios, I feel like if we looked at it this way, if studios were at this point more willing to take risks on films like this, we can take risks on actors that may not be well known in those films. I feel like.
Yeah. I think that they should do more of these, or at least give more of a balance.
Yeah.
You know?
Now that we're having this heated conversation about this shit, like I feel like this needs to be done more often with a lot of films.
Yeah, and I don't see. Yo, that last scene where he fucking like comes in and he kills all the racists.
Yeah. I just
that was like one of my favorite scenes.
That was just satisfying. Like I felt like I
think in a way like the fact that didn't even like he could have just went home. You know what I'm saying? But he stuck around.
And you know, there was even peace where, like, I was like, you know, he gets to see his girl. Good for him.
Yeah, so I didn't even catch, like, I don't know if you saw, like, early in the, first of all, she put on for big girls. Like, I fucking almost stood up. I was like, yo, let's see more of this.
Yeah, bro.
At first I was like, wait,
that's real bodies, right? You'll be like, a lot. Well, yeah, you know, I think a lot of people, like, it's okay, like, if in the first few moments you're like, this is mom, but, well, like, once they're like
once
actually
that neck kiss happened.
Yeah. Don't be like, yo, that's weird. Nah, you know what be happening.
But no, I thought that was his mom.
She was my favorite character.
I didn't. Yeah, nah, she was dope. I liked her.
Badass.
And then, you know, they embraced, and then there was like a sex scene out of nowhere, which alright, cool. But like I was like, yo, she's putting on. Like, why not? Like, let's. And she wasn't some light skinned girl too.
Nah,
she was chocolate.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was like, yo, let's do this. I'm here for that, you know.
And I like everybody's like, yo, she's gorgeous. I'm like, that's what I need. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, I'm jealous of Michael B. He was with two gorgeous women in this film. I'm like, yeah. Exactly.
It was very unconventional, and it was surprising, and I like that.
But like, I like that. Like, I fuck with the fact that Ryan Coogler himself is at a point where he can make it like. Because I think someone, like, I was watching a few interviews, I think they were like, it was basically like the studio's giving back to Ryan because, like, he had made a few, like, box office hits. What, Black Panther 1, Wakanda Forever, Creed, like, all of those were, like, $100 million hits.
Yeah.
Most of the movies that, like, Ryan Coogler's come out with, and, like, at least am I familiar, just saw, like, filmography of him, I'm pretty sure, like, 100 million, like, big productions. Like, Creed 2 probably, I gotta go look back on that, but, like, I don't think that did small numbers.
I wonder
So they're like giving him a chance to do his own thing, and look how crazy it is.
I wonder if he would ever do a film without Michael B. Jordan, or I wonder if that's never like a thing. Like, would he be afraid? You know? I
mean, I'm sure he could do a film. Like, I'm sure, like, so. If we look at it, there may be a film out there without Michael B.
I definitely want.
Y'all let us know in the comments, because I'm getting more familiar with his filmography now. So if there's any films out there that he did that were successful without Michael B., let us know. Put in the comments. Like, correct us on certain shit. You know, I'm all for the learning shit.
I'm sure there's probably some, but this is probably this is his moment right here.
Yeah, these are the ones that are popped off, and this is the one that is like, this is the moment for him.
I think that he should always do like quote unquote like black films. Maybe not films that have like, it's not necessarily a black stripe, but like films that are like largely black cast.
Yeah,
themes.
Because like, who else is gonna do it? Like, I feel like who else is gonna do it nowadays?
Well, it's like Jordan Peele too, as well.
Yeah, Jordan. Like, but I'm like, I feel like
they're also very similar. I feel like so. I feel like we need that though. Like, let's keep that going. You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Like that's like. I like that. Those are the movies that are like hitting the box office.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, what we've been trying to prove this entire time is that it doesn't matter. Skin tone is nothing.
Yeah, you see the work, you see the art, you see how good that shit is.
I know white people that like Tyler Perry movies, like they get it. It's just like it's like you gotta hit it in, you gotta hit it right, you know.
That gets complex, but like we are.
I think just like me and you like Adam Sandler movies. I think there's an audience for white people like that like. But
you know what it is like I have a mixed feeling, but like I definitely think there is there. 110%.
Like, remember Shadow Force with fucking Kerry Washington?
Shadow Force, what was that about?
So what I was gonna say is that I don't know if this is why I brought up his Michael B. Jordan, the big girl, the big shit. She was cool because I don't know if you remember he was at a grave in the back.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at first, you know.
Yeah.
But she had mentioned. At the end of the film, she was just like, yo, if I die, I don't care because there's a place for me on the other side.
Someone's waiting for me.
Someone's waiting for me. And I'm like, who the fuck are they talking about? And I'm guessing it was their kid.
That was, she was holding the baby in the end.
They were supposed to have a kid, and then I guess it didn't work.
And then they had a miscarriage probably.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that was a pretty powerful moment when he's shooting the gun and like, you know, he can finally like let go. And get to the other side. Like, that was dope. Yeah.
And like it was kind of like after all that, I feel like the character of like Smoke and Stack, like the way they portrayed them, like they had such a like tragedy in their life, and like I feel like you kind of feel like after that rough night, after having that whole party, peace, enjoy your peace, brother. Like but sad is like, I feel like no matter what, like only in death the man could have peace. Like
there was that line in the movie where he says too, he was like, you know what, for that one night we were finally free, you know, and I thought that was
even if it's separate, I thought
that was really like dope too.
I feel like that's like such a tragic but beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like as black people, we really don't we don't get much, so we can enjoy the little moments while we have it. But the moment the spot get lit up, the moment people find out that we having a good time, just appreciate it while it was there.
By the way, you brought up the music earlier. I gotta say, worst scene in the whole movie where it's like all the different cultures and the different time periods.
I mean, again, that's my
I thought that was so corny. Like I was like,
I think
it's not needed. It was weird. I got what they were trying to say, but it just visually it kind of like took me out of things.
I mean, I enjoyed it because like I think it was needed personally because I think it was supposed to represent like I don't think you would have like it'd be weird if somebody it's one of those things show don't tell. Would you rather than be like, the music connects you to the ancestors when you sing, you just then like they just like hear them whispering in the background. They don't visually show it, and they're just like, now you hear that in you, and then all of a sudden Remick comes in. I feel like it feels more powerful when you have that scene, and then you see what Remick is seeing, because that was the reason he got attracted. It wasn't because he heard the people dancing. It wasn't because he smelt the blood. He got attracted to the power that was within that music, to visualize and see the place burning down and just see them celebrating with their ancestors. They needed to show that because it showed that like the reason why I wanted to connect with it is again, Remick is a character that is separated from the ancestors. So now he could obtain this kid with this ability to connect directly with the ancestors. So that was like, I could get why, like, in my opinion, that's why I think it was needed. Because I feel like if you didn't, in your opinion, what would be a better way to present that?
I mean, they could have did it a couple ways. I mean, you kind of just shot down what I was going to say, which is just showing the ancestors dancing. I think that would have been good enough for me. That would have been satisfying.
Okay.
They could have just visually maybe played later generations in like a hazy fog or like a kind of like a vagueness, like silhouette.
But that would have been so generic.
But just to have like such a really good Southern moment be kind of spoiled by like this nigga fucking doing the pop.
Okay, you feel like you wanted to enjoy that. You wanted to enjoy that.
Yeah, it was just like, it was kind of off-putting, but like the message was strong. I got the message, but I was just like, visually this looks a little strange and off, and it kind of took me out of the movie.
Okay, like again, I can respect that. Like,
I kind of thought you would see me on that, or I thought I'd meet more people that would like be like, oh, this scene was a little like.
You probably got a few people out there that are feeling that. Like you probably gonna get one or two people in the comments that are like, I agree with that.
Yeah, maybe.
No, like I can understand that. Like if it was just one of those moments where you just wanted to enjoy, like you were deeply enjoying the Southern music, and then like you were like, oh, now like you're like I already hear this on a regular basis. I don't need this in this. Like I can understand
twerking.
Yeah, I mean like
they had what else did they have? It was just like kind of like off-putting stuff that like the beat would change.
Yeah,
they already had a song going, but then you had a song within the song changing like the melody of the.
Like I will say, the mixing in certain points felt a little like when they were switching the genres. Like it felt like it felt a little further out of it. It was like I was like waiting for it to land back on the Southern music. So I'm not saying like I think the scene was needed. I enjoyed it. Like I can understand where the mixing of the music might have been a little bit off for some people. So like I can't deny that there was like some minor things that could have been tweaked.
Yeah, or like how in like.
But I don't think I could have done it better. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I could do all this, but I personally think that it was done as massively as it could have been done.
Yeah.
Like or in a way that is unique. Like I feel like you know what I'm saying, like we could have done it a different way and it might have come off a little bit more generic.
Yeah, like you know how like fucking Jedi's fade away and shit in the Star Wars movies, like they could have did like a little like hazy like. You
just have all of them just like the Force spirits in the background. Yo, you know how many memes would be out there? Yo, just the Force ghosts of hip hop history.
Yeah, I mean, that, and like in a way, like not play music, just have them there, kind of dancing in the background would have been cool, you know. But,
I mean, but like I feel like that wouldn't have been as memorable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would have been a very forgettable moment. You know, because it would have the people in the background would have faded as much as the silhouettes. Like, you know. Like,
I guess it would only be.
But also, like, I'm trying to picture how I'm not seeing your vision here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would have to, and even with that said, like, it would have to be done right. Even if you did do my vision, like, it would have to.
There'd probably be a better way to portray it. Like,
like there's a way to fuck up my vision too, you know. Shit. But like,
you're not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if my shit isn't done right, it'd look bad.
We like try to test it out. Like, let's see if we can do it.
I'm just like,
none of the shots. None of the shots.
Yeah.
You know what, Ryan? I get it now.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
I don't definitely a memorable scene, but I was like turning it to people in the audience.
Y'all cool with the like I was really enjoying that southern vibe. Feel me? Like I was singing with you. You feel me? Like I was. You was like singing. You was singing the spiritual. Like huh? It's like the old head in you was like these young people music. Fuck twerking on the screen. Like.
Yeah, there was like niggas in wigs and shit.
The 60-year-old man came right out of you.
It was too much distracting shit. But that was like probably the worst thing in the movie to me. That was it.
Alright, fair.
Oh, so like when they first fought the vampires, right? When they first busted in the barn, and one of them let them in, which I thought was cool. She like, the Asian chick, she's like, come in.
Yo, people were so tight, like, why? Yeah. They're like, why the Asian lady had to do it?
Yeah,
I was tight with her. I was like, yo, like it did, I was like, yo, throw her out the barn, let her be outside after that moment.
Yeah, nah, I mean, but yeah, no. So what I was gonna say is that, all right, so when they bursted in like that. Didn't it seem like that mad people died in that scene?
Yeah.
But like, who died?
It was a lot going on in that scene.
Are you saying that you don't remember as well?
No, I'm pretty sure everyone died. I think the only one that made out was Smoke and Sammy when everything was all said and done.
At the end, but like, I'm sorry, like when there was
like that initial moment.
There was a moment when it was because you figured there's like a couple dozen vampires, but at the end there was only the drunk dude who we saw die because he cut his wrist, so he didn't die on the floor or anything. He just like and then there was the black chick, the good looking one that we said she died upstairs. There was the boy, Michael B. No.
What boy?
The main character, sorry.
Oh, Smoke?
No, the one.
Sammy.
Yeah, the banjo.
The boy. The boy.
Basically.
The child.
Right, so him, the black chick, Michael B. Jordan, the heavyset chick, and then, what? The Asian lady? That was it?
Well, I think the Asian lady almost went out almost immediately, because I'm pretty sure she just stabbed her husband and just burnt to death.
So, if you watch that scene where it's almost like this huge fight scene, but that's like only 4 or 5.
Like I think what it was is like I think they were taking out a lot of vampires. They were doing pretty good for like.
But it seemed like it was like they tried to make it seem like it was like even match, and like vampires dying, they were dying, but I'm like, who died? They showed people hit the floor, like like wait, was there people left in the barn other than them? Watch the scene over. It just felt like
I'm going to watch it again. So I guess I'll pay attention to that shit.
It seemed like they both collided when they both were about to fight each other, and then like it was like this, like it was like even.
It was like the Avengers versus the Ultron army.
Yeah, it was like running at each other, and then it was like a bunch of bot people dying everywhere. But I'm like, who the fuck was dying? Because I
think it was just vampires that were dying. I don't think it was any of the people until you saw those significant death moments.
Watch that shit again.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think you feel like there was extra people in the fight.
I kind of feel like
where all these extra people on your side come from. Like
in a way, I kind of feel. I don't know if it was a mistake or I don't know, who knows. But it just seemed like they filmed a bunch of extras dying.
Because like Annie died towards the end.
Yeah, so who died in that initial merging scene?
It was the Asian lady. She died immediately.
Yeah.
Other than the black lady that like the girl that Sammy was vibing with
upstairs.
She died.
She got bit. Haley.
Delta Slim didn't die until he pulled back and like he distracted them.
Right. So who the fuck died? Please pay attention to that scene again, because they show mad people like hitting the floor, just dropping. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I gotta rewind. Imagine that. Imagine they were just like these were actual characters that they forgot to cut out of the scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they're like, oh fuck. Oh, we re-released it. We can't take that one back now.
Yo, sometimes directors they'll sneak into their own films. Imagine Ryan Coogler did that and he saw that. He was like, oh shit.
I forgot. I said that copy. I said that it was like the final edit, but then right next to it was final edit 3. Like fuck, because I'll be doing that sometimes.
That would be crazy.
Like I've definitely said something with like the final edit instead of the final edit 3. Like oh fuck.
Also too in the past.
Yeah, it's like I mean to do that. Let me give you the.
In the past, theaters have let out different versions of movies just to see reactions.
I'm pretty sure there was like even for this film, I think they said that there was a different version where like the scene where like Delta Slim and the Sammy were like discussing his history, where he was like, you know, they pass by the prison laborers on the side road.
Yeah.
And then he kind of goes into his backstory.
Yeah.
I think
that was a really great scene.
Yeah, amazing scene. But I think like they had a different take on that. It was supposed to be like apparently like he's from what he said, like a 2 or 3 page monologue. Like it was longer than that, or it might have been a little longer. I think like he had to cut it down a little bit. But then like I think the actor, like I think Ryan cut that scene out, and then he was like, no, put it in. And then like we got to see it on like the global release kind of a thing, like like, or I think something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Like there's an interview that I may have been misquoting here, but like I'm pretty sure that scene was like a last minute add on, which I think that added so much. Like that shit was like, I was like, damn, you know what? If I had lived this life, I'd have just been spending my money on alcohol too. Because if anything, if I looked like I had money, I got my dick chopped off and hung. Like that's crazy. I'm not that. That's a tough life.
That's a legendary actor too. I'm not sure his name, but he's been around.
Yeah, I gotta look up. Like I think like a lot of these actors in this film, like Annie, the girl who played Annie, like I've definitely seen her in a few movies. I know she's in the Lovecraft Country series, which fantastic series. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
Yeah, so I think Max, like you should be able to watch it. I think it should be on Max if you haven't done one. It's like it's a similar energy for like a whole season.